other car had a backup camera and it had a right turn and it was so blinker on the right side. You saw some of the new one just has if something in the blind spot, it would, you know, they would let you design the car.
Well, yeah, at least for the one you get. Yeah, I ordered it. I don't want this. I don't want
Well, but how do you make it? This is a good feature to keep, this get rid of.
Right.
And that's not
Oh, it's, the newer one's longer. Yeah, that's always a concern too.
and I mean, there would be no reason it wouldn't fit, except that I would have an outdoor, you know, garage refrigerator.
Our garages are many things besides cars.
Exactly. Many. So it was like I had to move that, so. Okay.
We're getting close.
There you go. You're welcome. Let me go grab you a water real quickly. I thought
Oh, yeah. You definitely want water.
I definitely will.
So do we have two greeters, or is Jamie the only greeter?
David's greeting.
David, you're the official greeter, right?
No, tomorrow I'm on the beam. I don't think they had me down for anything.
The greeter.
I am.
You're the greeter. Thank you. Thank you.
I've been here.
Yeah, I have one, but I just didn't know who to say was our greeter for
I
tonight.
mean, you want to give me credit, I mean, for sitting there.
No, because we're having the board thing, so everybody's just standing here. You guys can sit down. You don't have to stand.
Yeah, right. Have a seat. Have a seat.
I'm here all the time.
I know. And I'm so happy. You're so much a part of our congregation. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Good Shabbos.
pages, Montel.
320. 326. Maybe you can help me as far as attaching my microphone to this. So, no, maybe it doesn't need it, is it?
Oh, you're okay.
Okay.
Are we still on? Can I check? Oh, yeah, I can see the light. Perfect.
I'm going to introduce it by reading what it means.
Perfect.
Yeah. Wow, Stephen. Oh, no. I asked the kitchen set over 100 for the dinner. I hope the majority of them come. Es la hora.
Es la hora. Venga, perfecto.
Good evening. As everybody is finding their seat, I'm going to ask us to do something before services. We're going to look, be sure everyone has a copy of the handout because several things are in the handout. All right, and we thank Wendy Axelrod for giving you one. She's our greeter tonight. We're going to begin with a melody that many of you know. It's Ma Tovu. It's on page 326 of your Siddur. So you may want to follow the words because they do come from this week's Torah portion. And I knew we had to sing Ma Tovu since it comes from Numbers 24. How fair are your tents, O Jacob, your dwellings, O Israel. So we're going to start with that. Mindy? Ma Tovu Ohaleha Yaakov, Ohaleha Yaakov, Mishkenoteha Israel. Ma Tovu Ohaleha Yaakov, Ohaleha Yaakov, Mishkenoteha Israel, Vani berov hasteha anoreteha eshtachaveh el hilchot sheha Israel, Ma Mishkenoteha Israel. Ma tovu ohaleha Yaakov, ohaleha Yaakov, Mishkenoteha Israel. Thank you for joining me in that melody. It will be repeated in our devar, and we will be thinking about what it means to have the tents of Israel in front of you, as Balaam was facing in our story for this week's Torah portion. We are welcoming the Shabbat. This is a Kabbalat Shabbat service, and many of us are looking forward to a dinner afterwards, so I hope many of you are planning on staying. We are going to begin with one of our other welcoming Shabbat songs on page 10. That will be Hine Matov. And again, we are talking about how good and pleasant it is that brothers and sisters dwell together. Hine Matov umanayim shevetahim gam yad. 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 How good it is. How good it is. How sweet it is. How sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is. How good it is. How sweet it is. How sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine matov umanayim shevetahim gam yad. Hine matov umanayim shevetahim gam yad. Shalom aleichem, salem aleichem. Shalom aleichem, salem aleichem. Shalom aleichem, salem aleichem. Shalom aleichem, salem aleichem. How good it is. How good it is. How sweet it is. How sweet it is to be together on this day. How good it is. How good it is. How sweet it is. How sweet it is to be together on this day. Hine matov umanayim shevetahim gam yad. Hine matov umanayim shevetahim gam yad. So, welcome to services at Temple Mount Sinai. We have, besides Wendy as our greeter this evening, we have some special music. We're welcoming Brad Jacobson, the first time he has played guitar for services here at Temple, and we're so glad he is with us. Mindy Leon Escobar, of course, is with us. I'd like to welcome also Scott Stevens, who will be installed as our new president of Temple Mount Sinai for the next 2 years. And of course, representing the board is Erlene Gordon. I'm Tina Wolf, for those of you who may not know who I am. And we will be welcoming Shabbat for a little while. Let's see. We have a candle lighter, and I'm looking to see if she's here. Candle lighter. There you are, Rebecca. Rebecca Glazer will be lighting candles for us. And we're going to turn to page 2 in your Siddur. Let's have you read.
Okay. As they're, oh, sorry.
As these Shabbat candles give light to all who behold them, so may we by our lives give light to all who behold us. As their brightness reminds us of the generations of Israel who have kindled light, so may we in our own day be among those who kindle light.
If you haven't already, you may rise at this point and light the candles. Wonderful.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kidshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Thank you. Don't sit down quite yet, because this is the point at which we turn around and greet our neighbors and wish them a Shabbat Shalom. If there's someone new, introduce yourself. All right, I would invite you to sit as we turn to page 20 in our Siddur, and we proceed to welcome Shabbat again with Lahadodi. We will be standing for verse 9, but not yet. All right? So Lahadodi on page 20. Beloved bride, come and greet the Sabbath.
Likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela lechadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmi'anu Shabbat nekavela lechadodi likrat kala penei Shabbat nekavela hitoreri kiva orev kumi ori uri shita Mekabela Lecha Dodi Likrat Kala Pene Shabbat Mekabela.
Please rise.
Oy Shalom Ateret Bala Gam Besimha Ubuzot Hola Toke Mule Am Segula Boi Hakala Boi Hala Leha Dodi Likrat Kala Pene Shabbat Mekabela Leha Dodi Likrat Kala Pene Shabbat Mekabela.
You may be seated. We continue welcoming Shabbat. I always think at this point of the traditional way of saying that Jews keep the Shabbat, but ultimately the Shabbat keeps us as Jews. It is a central part of our lives. And following up, we're going to look on page 25 at the bottom at words of Larry Kushner, which I always read before we do the Shalom Aleichem, which is what comes next. And so we understand that ordinary people are messengers of the Most High. When we sing Shalom Aleichem, we're saying, peace to you, O ministering angels. So some of us wonder, why are we talking about ministering angels? Ordinary people are messengers of the Most High. They go about their tasks in holy anonymity, often even unknown to themselves. And if they had not been there, if they had not said what they said or did what they did, it would not be the way it is now. We would not be the way we are now. Never forget that you too, yourself, may be a messenger, perhaps even one of those whose errand extends over several lifetimes. On page 24, Shalom Aleichem.
Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Alahim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Hasharet, Malachei Elyon, Mi Melech, Malachei Alahim, HaKadosh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu.
Page 27. Teach me, O God, a blessing, a prayer on the mystery of a withered leaf, on ripened fruit so fair, on the freedom to see, to sense, to breathe, to know, to hope, to despair. Teach my lips a blessing, a hymn of praise, as each morning and night you renew your days. Lest my day be today as the one before, lest my routine set my ways. At the bottom of page 29, we begin the Shema and its blessing, Shema Uvrachoteha. But what does it mean? This is a call to worship. What does it mean to be called to worship? All serious activity requires preparation. The prayers and blessings that precede the Baruch Hu are warm-ups for the individual, for each of us. Now communal prayer begins. The leader asks, are you ready to pray? And we respond, yes. Let us pray. Please rise if you are able. And page 28.
Am I awake? Am I prepared? Are you listening to my prayer? Can you hear my voice? Can you understand? Am I awake? Am I prepared? Ya la 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 la, 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 ya la 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 la. Baruch et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach leolam vaed. Leolam vaed. Ya la 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 la, 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 la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la, ya la 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 la.
You may be seated. On page 30. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro bararim avaravim, b'chokman poteach sha'arim. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, ruler of the universe, who speaks the evening into being, skillfully opens the gates, thoughtfully alters the time and changes the seasons, and arranges the stars in their heavenly courses, according to plan. You are creator of day and night, rolling light away from darkness and darkness from light, transforming day into night and distinguishing one from the other. Adonai Sefaot is your name. Ever-living God, may you reign continually over us into eternity. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on evening. Baruch atah Adonai, Hamariv Aravim. We are now looking at the Shema itself on page 34. Please rise if you are able to do so.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Leolam Vaed.
You may be seated.
Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha v'chol levav v'chol nafshecha uv'chol meodecha ve'hayu hadevarim ha'ele asher anui mitzavecha hayom alevavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibartam ba'am v'shivtecha b'beitecha u'lektecha b'derek u'shoftecha u'kumecha u'kshartam leod al-yotecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'ktaftam al mesusot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות להם אלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיהם.
On page 39, we read responsively from the middle of the page. In a world torn by violence and pain, a world far from wholeness and peace, give us the courage to say, Adonai, there is one God in heaven and earth. The high heavens declare your glory. May earth reveal your justice and love. From bondage in Egypt, we were delivered at Sinai. We bound ourselves to your way. Inspired by prophets and instructed by sages, time and again, we overcame oppressive forces. Though our failings are many and our faults are great, it has been our glory to bear witness to our God, keeping alive in dark ages your vision of a world redeemed. Continue to work for the day when the nations will be one and at peace. Then shall we rejoice as Israel did, singing on the shores of the sea. And of course, what we sang was the Mi Hamocha on page 40. At this point, we turn to page 46 for our tefillah, the main section of our prayer service. And I'll ask you if you are able to rise, please do so.
Tiftach ufi agi teilateha Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohe Avotenu V'Imotenu, Elohe Abraham, Elohe Isaac, Elohe Yaakov, Elohe Sarah, Elohe Rivka, Elohe Rachel, Elohe Leah, Ha'el HaGadol HaGibor VeHanorah, Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, Vekoneh HaKol, Vezoher Asdei Avot V'Imahot, Umevi Gulam Livnei Bneihem, Leman Shemo Be'avad, Melech Oser U'Mashiach U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham Vezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mehayeh HaKol atah Rav Le'oshia, Morid atah, Mehayeh Chaim Behesed, Mehayeh HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Somech Noflim Preofei Olim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem Emunato, Lishenei Afar, Mi'amo Habal Gevurot, Umidom Melach, Melech Memid, Umekayem, Umasni Arishua, V'neiman atah lahayot hakol, Baruch atah Adonai, Me'ayeh hakol. Atah kadosh v'shimna kadosh, Kadoshim b'chol yom yachalelucha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You may be seated. On page 55. May these hours of rest and renewal open our hearts to joy and our minds to truth. May all who struggle find rest on this day. May all who suffer find solace. May all who hurt find healing on this day. May all who despair find purpose. May all who hunger find fulfillment on this day. And may this day fulfill its promise. Baruch atah Adonai, Mekadesh HaShabbat. It's at this point that we take a few moments for Tefillah Halev, the prayers of the heart, silent prayer, and then we'll continue on page 62. Say shalom, b'imromah, hu ya'aseh shalom, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu, ya'aseh shalom aleinu, oh say shalom.
reflect back to those of you who came early and sang with me, Ma Tovu, because we are looking at the Torah portion, a double portion this week of Chukat Balak, and it talks about curses and blessings, and also about the tents of Jacob. So we mostly see this world in the dichotomy. Something is either a blessing or we sense that it's a curse. Oops, my cell phone doesn't work right. A curse. My son in a distant city calls me a blessing. So what can Balak teach us? I think there are two important lessons here. In Numbers 22, God said to Balaam, "Do not go with them. You must not curse that people, for they are blessed." The people, of course, of which God speaks are the Israelites. We look at Balaam, the soothsayer, and his choice is to curse or bless us. We know Balak, the king of Moab, asked that the Israelites be cursed, and so we ask, why? There are two reasons. First, because of fear, and second, because of jealousy. Balak was scared of the Israelites as they were numerous, strong, and victorious. He was jealous for the same reason. They were so numerous, the earth could not be seen, according to Numbers 22. And they were strong and victorious. Things were going well for the Israelites, and this scared Balak. 3 times Balak tries to convince the soothsayer, Balaam, to curse the Israelites, and 3 times Balaam refuses. All too easily, this relates to our lives. Rabbi King Ettinger reminds us that when things don't seem to be going the way we envision, or if quite simply we're having a rough time with work or family or community, we tend to see the negative. We may see ourselves as cursed. Our mindset changes from seeing the good and the beauty in life to seeing only the difficulty and the darkness or the pain. And recently, this is very true for many of us. We may not see the blessings in our own lives. Our worldview may have become skewed. We may find that we become jealous of others' successes, of their wealth and relationships. We may criticize them rather than praising them and patting them on the back because we feel insecure and unsure of ourselves. At times, we may feel lost and find it difficult to espouse a positive attitude. The antidote can be relatively simple if we stop for a moment and reflect on our lives and open ourselves to look inward and see our blessings. Then it won't be long till we see our successes, the goodness within our lives and our relationships. It won't be long till we find ways to mend what is broken. Tikkun olam. We all have our share of blessings. Let's see them, for they are most certainly present. Our second lesson is about how we see each other. When Balaam, the soothsayer, sees the Israelites encamped, he blesses them. Not only does he bless them once, but he rejects King Balak's order 3 separate times, each time blessing the Israelite people again. King Balak spends much time trying to convince Balaam to curse the people. So why does Balaam resist? When the king meets the soothsayer, he takes him up to the outlet point at Bamot Baal, from which Balaam can see the extent of the nation. That's the nation of Israel. Here, for the first time, Balaam sees the Israelite camp instead of only hearing about it from the king. The Israelites are no longer abstract to him, and he cannot demonize them or curse them the way King Balak hopes he will. Balaam even comes to identify with the Israelites in a way, saying, "Let my end be like this." King Balak, determined, tries again and again to make Balaam curse the Israelites, yet his tactic is puzzling. King Balak could have responded to the disobedience of the soothsayer in many ways. King Balak believes that a change of Balaam's view of the people may enable him to curse them. So for the 3rd time, he takes them on to a different vantage point, one from which he again sees the entire people. This time, not only does he see the extent of the nation, he sees details about how they interact with one another. The commentator Rashi explains that Balaam saw even more than just that they arranged themselves by tribes. He saw that every tribe dwelled by itself and they didn't intermingle. He saw that their tent openings were not facing each other so that one could not peek into the tent of his friend. This is one of the most commonly cited explanations of why Balaam blesses them specifically with the blessing, "How goodly are your tents, Jacob, your dwelling places, Israel," as we sang at the beginning of this evening's service. Balaam had a glimpse of how the Israelites lived together, how they cared for each other's privacy. Perhaps he could see cooking fires and children playing. Balaam was given orders by God not to curse the people, yet we see through his words and actions that Balaam was not simply following God's instruction. Seeing the Israelites fully, Balaam blessed them with a sense of identification. Balaam's act of seeing the Israelites made apparent to him their humanity. Just as King Balak was afraid of the people who settled next to him, today there are individuals, communities, and nations that fear their neighbors. This fear has led to many conflicts, to violence, and to human atrocity. The story of King Balak and Balaam demonstrate that truly seeing others is what allows fear to dispel. In order to build connections and wear down hatred, we must see others from the appropriate vantage point, one from which we can appreciate their history, their community, and their values. Balaam heard God's voice say that the Israelites were a blessed people. Today, through God's word reminding us, it is easy to fall into the trap of demonizing those whom we don't know. We must learn from King Balak's misguided hatred. Seeing a people fully is what transforms curses into blessings. This week, may we rededicate ourselves to seeing new vantage points so that we may notice the full humanity of all people around us. Ki hiula ratzon, may it be so. Shabbat shalom. At this point in the service, I'm very honored to begin with our installation of our new board. If you are a Temple Mount Sinai board member, would you please come forward here in the front? And the rest of us should have a handout that has the installation service on it. This will allow you to participate as well.
We request all board members come forward.
All board members, please.
All board members.
See, the new president isn't even installed and he's giving orders already. Face the front. Holy One of blessing, bestow your blessings on these leaders who have been elected to serve our congregation. Instill in them insight and understanding, perseverance as well as patience. Inspire them to work together in pursuit of our community's greatest aspirations, even as they watch over its daily needs. Oh God, we're thankful for the dedication and giving spirit that bring these incredible people before you, prepared to devote their energies to your service and to the benefit of us all. Grant success to their endeavors and help them to lead us in the pursuit of our sacred mission. The board, in your sanctuary, O God, in the presence of our congregation, we accept the honor and the responsibilities which have been conferred upon us. We promise to serve Temple Mount Sinai to the best of our ability, to uphold with dignity and courage the ideals for which it stands. We will work to place the interests of the congregation at the highest level of our communal endeavor. We will strive to conduct ourselves at all times in ways which bring glory to our people and honor to our heritage.
On behalf of all who have been chosen to serve this congregation with me, I undertake to serve Temple Mount Sinai faithfully. May God give us strength as we endeavor to establish the future of this congregation.
Together, God, we ask your blessing upon Temple's Board of Trustees. May your favor rest upon them. May they inspire us not only within the confines of this, your house, but also when we go forth into the world about us. May the ideals of Judaism take root in our lives and in ours. As a result of our efforts, may the light of your presence go forth from this house of God to bless our community and all humanity. We call upon our trustees to lead our community toward the fulfillment of the Torah. Knowing the tasks that lie ahead, we call upon them to affirm their commitment to the vision of our congregation and to pledge their best efforts and finest abilities to the year ahead. Board. It is therefore now, with great joy and the highest expectations, that we install you as the chosen leaders of Temple Mount Sinai. May the time, energy, resources, and creativity which you bring forth bless you in return. May you have a sense of your contribution to the heritage of the Jewish people. May our future be enriched by the commitment you have accepted here tonight, and may you be blessed and inspired by the Holy One of Blessing. Baruch atah Adonai, melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu la'asok be'zorchai zibor. Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot and commands us to work on behalf of the needs of our community. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Shehekianu, Vehikianu, Lazman Hazeh. Together, blessed are you, God, ruler of the universe, who has kept us in life, has sustained us, and who has brought us to this special moment in the life of our congregation. Thank you, board members, and for all the work you'll be doing in the future for us. You may have a seat. Yeah. We now turn to those who may not be with us tonight, those who are in need of healing, those who have spiritual, emotional, physical needs that deserve our prayers. We can find the Misha Barak prayer on page 253. I read the names of those in our congregation for whom the congregation is praying. That would be Daniel Bernard Rosen, Jackie Spear, Carol Malloy, and Diane Harris Klein. As we go through the congregation, please add the names you would like to submit to enrich our prayers.
Mary Louise Rosenbush.
Rose Hall, Valerie Martin, Helen Silence.
Joan Sally. Stephen Everett. Annette Strong.
Joel Exelrod.
Marlene Levine.
Diane Milbert.
Mary Ann Melkin. Jose Francisco. Judy.
Please join us with Misha Barak. Avotenu Mekor Abraham Leibotenu, may the source of strength who
us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Nishebera imotenu mekor Abraham leamotenu. Bless those in need of healing with grateful ashlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen.
We turn to page 5 for our Kiddush.
You may rise with me if you'd like, if you are able.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitzanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shavat kodsho be'ahad u'ratzon hinilanu, zikaron le'maaseh v'reshit, ki hu yom tehillah le'mikra'e kodesh, zeher litziat Mitzrayim, kivanu b'harta v'yotanu kidashta mikol ha'omim, v'shabat kodshecha be'ahava u'ratzon hinaltanu. Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh hashavat. Amen.
L'chaim.
L'chaim. And remain standing, please, turning to page 282 for our Aleinu prayer.
Aleinu leshabeach ladon hakol, latekedu layotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu kiryei aratzot, velo samanu kamishpahot ha'adama, shelo samtem kenu kahem, vegor aleinu keolam onam, v'anachnu korim u'mishtahavim u'modim livnei melech malchei malachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu, bayom hahu yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo 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 echad.
You may be seated. Our thoughts now turn to loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have drawn into our hearts with our own. As I read the names of those whose yard sites are recalled from this past week, if a loved one's name is mentioned, please feel free to rise, and we will all do so on page 294 for the mourner's cottage when the list is finished. We take into our memory Rose Alfman, Max Applebaum, Leah Berman, Paul Bonner, William Albert Carvajal, Penny Korn, Estelle Epstein, Simon Fate, Norman Feldman, David Galatzen, Pearl S. Given, Nephi Goldfeder, Sarah B. Goodman, Frank Gordon, Elizabeth Ann Greaves, Ethel Holier, Mary Ellen Horst, Margarita Cayenne, Bernard Kaufman, Erna W. Klein, Lily Schwartz Klein, Jerome B. Lapowski, Simon Leventhal, Bessie Epstein Levy, Morris L. Marcus, Jerome Marks, Justin J. Mendeloff, Max Meyer, Rita Novak, Ida A. Oppenheimer, Clarence J. Oppenheim, Sarah S. Pearl, Joanne Rothbart Peterson, Patricia Pike, Mauricia Plessant, Sarah D. Reedman, Rosalind Riefkin, Manuel Rodriguez, Gladys Rosenfeld, Marvin Roth, Evelyn Rosenoff, Harry K. Rubenstein, Stephen Ryback, Marcella A. Shapiro, William J. Schechter, Bella Fisher Shaner, Gerard Seth Tate, Pauline G. Turk, Henrietta Wise, Paul Wolfe. If there are those whose names you would like to add, please do so at this time. Please rise, and we'll recite Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yit Gadal v'yikadash Shemei Rabbah, Be'alman divrahi rute, Be'almit malhute, Be'haye hon uyome hon, Uvekayet ol Beit Israel, Ba'agalav v'zman karim v'imru, Amen. Yehi Shemei Rabbah mevarak, Uleam umayeh amaya. Eat Barak, V'it Tabak, V'it Bahar, V'it Raman, V'it Naseh. V'it Hardar, V'it Halel, V'it Halal, Shemei Dekuda Sham Prihu, Le Al Minko Biratav, Ashivratav, Tush V'hatav V'neimatav, Damimran V'aman, V'imru, Amen. Yehi Shlama Rama Min Shemaya, V'hayim Aleinu V'al Kol Israel, V'imru, Amen. Oh, say shalom, Bivermav. Huya, say shalom. Aleinu ve'al kol Israel. Ve'imru. Amen. Oh, say shalom, Bivermav. Huya, say shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Israel. I now welcome Erlene Gordon. Oh, Scott? Oh, the new president takes over. Scott Stevens will be giving us announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. I'd like to thank Wendy Axelrod for being the greeter tonight. It's always nice to have a smiling face as we come in. The beaming guest, President-elect Erlene Gordon. I'd like to thank Tina for leading service tonight. Very well done. And Mindy, as always, beautiful. And Brad, I hope we see you more often. Thank you to our Shabbat sponsors, Boris Heim and Fifi Hellerheim in memory of Margarita Heim, Sam Simon, Evelyn Fox, and Sue Owens Pickens in memory of Rose Alfman, Merton and Laura Goldman in memory of Gerald Seth Tate, Liz Katz in memory of Pearl Given, Bob and Elaine Krasny in memory of Rita Novak, Merton and Laura Goldman in memory of Gerald Seth Tate. Wow, we got a 2-for-1 there. Ron Blumenfeld and Barbara Scher in memory of Max Applebaum. Thank you all. Jewish food sale is still ongoing. Contact the temple to see our weekly email for more information. If you got today's announcement, there will be more information in there. The Society for Crypto-Judaic Studies is holding its 33rd annual conference in El Paso August 13th through 15th. See the weekly email for more information and to register. I've told that this is going to be a very informative series. Notice about the temperature in our chapel. I'm sorry, we're still working on it. It's a split heating cooling system. It is so old, we're having parts made. Not purchased, made. So it's taking a little while. Please give us your patience. Say again? And I would like to say on a personal note, being elected to president of this congregation is quite an honor. I take the responsibility seriously. I appreciate my wife letting me do it. And if at any time any member of the congregation wants to speak to me about something, you can go to the president at Temple Mount Sinai email, contact me that way. You can call the Temple office, get my phone number if you don't already have it. So thank you for this honor, and Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. Before we finish, hopefully everyone still has their handout, because in there is a tune which is very appropriate for our celebration of the 4th of July, the anniversary of independence of our nation. God Bless America. The song is on the back. Please stand.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with a light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
This time with a little bit more pep.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet home.
I know we're all hungry. Hamotzi will be in Zelanka Hall, and then we can proceed into Schwartz for our dinner. I'll be with you in just a moment. And